Before the digital revolution, the entertainment industry was largely isolated to television, movies, radio, and sports. However, what was missing from these forms was an interactive experience. It was not until Atari's release of Pong in arcades across the United States that this would be satisfied. Nolan Bushnell, founder of Atari, paired the technological advancements of the 1970s with such an idea of interactivity to revolutionize the entertainment industry and ultimately build a foundation for video games in the following decades. Nolan Bushnell took a stand against the status quo of the entertainment industry in the 70s by founding the Atari Corporation, which introduced video games to millions of households worldwide. Before Atari, there was Syzygy. In 1969, Ted Dabney and Nolan Bushnell founded the small company to produce electronic games, starting first with a game called Computer Space. The duo had trouble introducing both the game and its concept to the general public. With such reception and lukewarm marketing of the game, Computer Space became a commercial flop. Steeled by this loss, Bushnell and Dabney set out to start anew by founding a new company and having more hands-on approach to marketing. It was with these prospects the duo started Atari Incorporated in California on June 27, 1972. Atari began by expanding on the idea of arcade or coin operation games, like that of Computer Space. Around this time, they contacted Alan Alcorn, who soon joined as engineer of the fledgling gaming company. Alcorn faced a test immediately: to make a table tennis game electronically. Originally a mere examination of the abilities of Alcorn, it soon led to Atari's first major success, Pong. In November of 1972, Atari released the arcade machine. Using an ingenious circuit and simple game design, Pong swept the nation. One machine in Southern California soon reported problems with operation. When a member of Atari was sent to fix it, the problem was quickly discovered. The coins had overflowed the machine. Pong's popularity laid in the fact that it was a never-before-seen concept to the vast majority of the public. The game offered an innovative experience that could be played against a computer or create competition among friends, all for the price of a quarter. Early success and extreme popularity brought money, and more importantly, recognition to Atari. From a fringe company, they soon became a household name. Bars and arcades across the nation clamored for a chance to buy Pong. Although the game simply consisted of two long rectangles bouncing a pixel back and forth, its economic, social, and cultural effects would soon shake up the entertainment industry as a whole and prove to be the desired jumping-off point for Atari. Atari began to look at larger deals and make riskier decisions. After the explosive success of Pong in arcades and bars across the United States, Bob Brown, an original Atari engineer, spoke to coin operation engineer Harold Lee about bringing Pong to a home console. In order to increase their retail presence, Atari consulted Sears Roebuck & Co. to help produce the home version of Pong and to include it in the Sears catalog. This decision proved to be an overwhelming success for both Atari and Sears, as both companies expected to sell 50,000 units of the console, but ended up producing approximately 150,000 units, becoming one of the hottest items of the Christmas of '75. People waited in lines going around corners for hours just to sign up for the home version of Pong. Whereas previously most gaming had to be done in the arcade, Atari began direct-to-consumer marketing by selling this home console. As a result, the idea of gaming at home became more mainstream, although not yet normalized, and laid the basis for Atari to take a stand in the entertainment industry. Once more capitalizing on their success and developing a growing industry, Atari released Breakout on May 13, 1976, nicknamed Pong Turned on Its Side. Breakout was produced for arcades and the objective was to destroy all the blocks on the screen. The name of the game was fitting, as it was yet another breakout success for the company, proving to be another desired game for arcades all over the country. Additionally, a large impact of Atari can be seen when a young Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak developed a new board for the Breakout game, which would later be used to create the first Apple computer. The environment of innovation in Atari led to the largest tech giant of the modern world, all resulting from this game. Soon enough, Atari would become a common name in American households. Seeing the success of their arcade machines and wishing for more direct-to-consumer profits like that of Home Pong, Bushnell ordered the creation of a groundbreaking machine, the world's first major video game console, the Atari 2600. Previous home entertainment machines all had one factor in common. All games were pre-installed onto the system. The predecessors to the 2600 all only had one game in its system and could not be expanded upon. However, the 2600 would be different. Technology was rapidly changing at the time, newer processors were becoming more powerful, and production costs were cheaper. As a result, Bushnell and his company had plans for a new system. A system that could play multiple games using cartridges. With the idea of the console in place, Atari engineers now had to overcome issues related to designing and manufacturing. Using one of the first central processing units or CPUs, the MOS Technology 6502, the Atari 2600, known as the Atari VCS at the time, began development in 1976, a year before its launch. Production was slow, however, due to the need to invent entirely new technologies and pack huge processing power into such a small machine. Jay Miner, a chip designer for Atari, managed to solve one of the large problems facing the machine at the time by compressing huge portions of electronics into one chip. With this complete, the console was ready to ship and eventually became the first electronic gaming system of its kind to truly impact the entertainment industry. September 11, 1977, the release day of the Atari 2600. The system originally launched with 9 games: Air Sea Battle, Basic Math, Blackjack, Combat, Indy 500, Starship, Street Racer, Surround, and Video Olympics. This list would continue to grow to more than 565 games, and the 2600 would also dominate the holiday season from 1977 to 1982, a whole 5 years for just one system. 1978 witnessed the release of games such as Outlaw, Space War, and the home version of Breakout. 1969 had Adventure and 11 other games, all met with commercial success, and from 1980 to 1983, Atari ported nearly all their most popular arcade games like Space Invaders, Pong, Asteroids, and Battlezone to the 2600, along with a variety of new games such as Pitfall and Yar's Revenge. For the price of $199 to $229, one could play more than an arcade's worth of games, all from the comfort of their own home. It was this vast availability and accessibility of games that caused the Atari 2600 to become a smash hit in households all across the nations and across the world. The console shattered expectations of insiders in the entertainment industry. Before, many claimed the console would fail. Nobody, it was thought, would want to buy a console for their home. Nobody would pay to buy individual cartridges of games. Arcades would win in the end. Instead, arcades began to falter as console gaming rose ascendant. Sales skyrocketed. Atari became one of the most valued companies in America. To this day, many Americans play games at home with the console. Without Atari, we probably wouldn't have the notion of the home video game market. Atari bridged the gap. They moved video games from these places to the home. Throughout America, arcades have become a relic of a bygone era, directly attributable to Atari's aggressive revolutionary shift towards home marketing. While most companies thought it impossible and imprudent, the innovative Atari continued regardless, leading to the world we have today. Often forgotten and neglected, this major shift in the gaming industry allowed a now thriving billion-dollar industry to exist. And although the life cycle of the 2600 would come to an end due to the oversaturation of games on the market, ironic though it may be, the impact that the console had on players and tech companies proved to be monumental. From a small startup company with a college friend to one of the most well-known video game companies of all time, Bushnell created an entirely new industry from scratch, while at the same time defying the status quo of long-standing industries. Bushnell created a company that would create some of the most memorable games and perhaps the most popular console of all time, the Atari 2600. With this system, Bushnell normalized the idea of video games and created groundbreaking games along the way. This was Bushnell's vision from the start of Atari, to not only revolutionize, but to take a stand in the entertainment industry. By pursuing his dreams, fully knowing the high stakes he would have to take, Bushnell stood as a pioneer of the entertainment industry himself and forged the way for future video game developers to pursue their dreams as well.